Very big welcome back to the second day of this 2016 Abu Dhabi Judo Grand Slam. This wonderful modern city once again plays host to this Judo Grand Slam, where many of the top fighters are here to start their journeys towards Olympic qualification in Tokyo in 2020. Now, yesterday saw France emerge with 2 gold medals, Russia, Kazakhstan and Spain winning 1 each, but that can all change over the next 2 days of competition, and it normally does. We saw some good judo in the earlier rounds, and the medal matches are ready to go. Sheldon Franco-Rooks joins me in the commentary position, and he will introduce our first medal match of this final session.
A very good afternoon, Neil, and a very good afternoon to everyone at home. This first bronze medal contest in the under 63 kilo category is a battle of the Marianas. Mariana Miskovic of Croatia faces Mariana Silva of Brazil, and to take control of this one in the middle, Vincent Drouot of France. It'll be Miskovic in the white judogi, Silva in blue.
Yeah, she's on a good medal run at the moment, Miskovic, so she's after her second medal in so many tournaments. She got silver in Uzbekistan just a couple of weeks ago, and now she's here fighting for third place and against Silva, Mariana Silva, and both of them ranked in the top 20 in the world. So here they go, Miskovic in white, Silva in blue.
Silva very nearly got the timing right for Rio. Came up with a 5th place finish. That was a terrific effort.
Well, great advantage as well as being on home ground as well. That was a lot of them, didn't they? They fought very, very well.
Just a short delay whilst they sort out the timing device. Apparently one of the competition controllers has pressed the start button and it hasn't activated, but when Ziad gets over there he'll sort it out. He's a technician. You watch.
Well, as you can see, the crowd here, just a lot of them, judo's new to them, and they're here fascinated by the whole process of this Grand Slam tournament being held in Abu Dhabi, and they've been hosts, such wonderful hosts before, and the event is fantastic. It's really a special city, isn't it? Abu Dhabi is what we'd call a modern metropolis. It's just a modern city. The buildings are wonderfully modern, and wonderful hosts they are too.
I like that mosque. Incredible, isn't it?
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
you've actually been in and looked around
in
and
the mosque.
Yeah.
Took some beautiful photographs as well. So yes, everybody ready to go. Then it looks like the time.
They'll sort that out in a second. Mariana Silva, that's a look at her. She really surprised me in Rio. First of all, she got the selection. That was a bit of a surprise because, in all honesty, she was nowhere. I know that's going to sound harsh, but she was nowhere in the running, even for the selection for the Brazilian team, in my opinion. She then made her final push, got there and made it, and then ended up in 5th place.
Yeah, well, and like I said, she really drew off the crowd. She did. She grew with every match at the Olympic Games. This is totally different though, and also if we have a look, Miskovic, for example, married lady, 2 children, and here she is. She's going for qualification for the next Olympic Games. She's told me that that's her whole intention.
Unbelievable. I don't know how many years it's been since we saw Miskovic first, on the circuit, but she's one of the most likeable, affable, friendly, warm, you name it. She's a terrific advertisement for Croatian judo. She's really enjoyable character to be around.
Yeah, she's a fighter as well. 4-minute contests for the ladies, 5 for the men.
And just to finish off on Mariana Silva, as far as her Rio experience was concerned, she showed during that competition, almost gets caught there, she showed during that competition that she had some stuff about her that we kind of suspected that she could come up with. Unfortunately, it hadn't previously been on show, not and not at the highest level. And I suspect that the Brazilians had seen it at training camps and at some Pan American Continental championships, but not on the IJF Judo World Tour. And then all of a sudden, there in Rio, bang, there it was, and she almost ended up with a medal.
Well, one of them's going to go in a second with that. Osoto to Osoto, the front leg forwards. 4 different ways of scoring an ippon. An ippon is what they're after here, and that finishes the contest outright. For the people at home that don't know how to win in judo, you throw them onto their back with force and you win by ippon, but we get points depending on how close to their back we get them. And then there are 3 different ways on the ground. You can arm lock or strangle somebody for a submission, or hold them down on their back for 20 seconds. We have penalty system as well. We'll point out the penalty system as we go along. There's 2 penalties being given already to Silva for small infringements. We're not allowed to cross over grips, hold on the same side without attacking immediately. She's got 2 penalties for that. So 2 Shido penalties are up there. They're a little yellow flag that you can see up there, and if she gets 4 of those, it'll all be over. But that's going to be a score there from Silva. She scores a Yuko, and that cancels out immediately those 2 penalties against her. It's worth more, should I say. Well, I said that front leg would be the problem. Osotogari there takes her onto her side, and she scores a Yuko. If she'd rolled her onto her back, she would have got a Wazari, and if she'd thrown her on her back with force, it's an ippon. So from winning the match, Miskovic now is behind.
See, in Rio, that right-sided Uchimata effort from Silva there came up with a score. There was that extra zip about her on that day, and I hope that she's not going to fall back into her old ways of just coming short a little bit.
Well, I think that a lot of the athletes there, and we've had some really top draw matchups at this on the second day of competition, and a lot of them just looked a little bit flat to me. I mean, we're approaching the end of 2016, and I think a lot of them have been to the Olympics, done the Olympics, and they're just on the way down there. They want to end the year a little bit of a positive, few world ranking points, maybe a little bit of money as well, because it's prize money as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And just lead them into Christmas. It gives them a slightly higher world ranking and sets them up nicely for 2017.
Get some money for the Christmas stocking and...
for my Christmas present, really.
The Silva will be down a local high street to pick up a Boticario products. That's a big Christmas gift business in Brazil. You all know about that. Chance for the turnover. She can get the right leg free, but I think Miskovic is pretty good on the ground and should trap that leg. It's not that high up. It's just the foot really left in.
Well, I was saying that we have to hold them down for 20 seconds. You can't do it if you have any entanglement with the leg, so that leg has to come out of there.
Not
but
happening.
Miskovic is keeping hold of that. There's a little trap onto the leg there just to keep it in. First bronze medal match in this under 63 kilograms. Miskovic just behind now. She's having to come forward. She's having to really take the fight to Silva. Third penalty up to Silva. One more penalty and it could be disqualification, but she'll have to make sure that she just stays on top of this. Last 13 seconds, if she dropped and got another Shido, she'd lose the match. And that's exactly what coach is telling Miskovic. Go forwards, put her under pressure, make her drop. 6 seconds left. And it's not going to happen, I don't think, anyway. Silva just going to hold on to this. All over. And Silva gets the first medal of the second day for Brazil. Their 4th bronze medal, 5th medal in all over the last 2 days, but the early days at the moment in this second day. They had two competitors in fighting for 3rd place, Brazil. They've still got Quadros to come. But Silva, Mariana Silva, gets the bronze medal here. Close match? I think quite a close one. I just decided on that one Yuko.
I don't think Miskovic will be entirely disappointed. A 5th place at a Grand Slam is not a bad result. The other thing is she was fighting a tricky competitor in Mariana Silva, and you know, we were talking about Mariana Silva's result in Rio. She's coming off the back of that, you know, and now she's not looking at herself as an also-ran. She's looking at herself as a real contender. When you finish 5th place at an Olympic Games, you can begin to fancy yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what Brazil are doing as a nation, as a judo nation. They've got a lot of youngsters out here. They've got 1 or 2 in there that with experience, 1 or 2 coming off the back of the Olympic Games that didn't quite maybe make the medals. Harai Makikomi or Soto Makikomi there, and I think that's the Yuko that she gets. Enough to win her the bronze medal, and she'll go home happy.
Neil was talking about the Osoto matchup, and that's what really caught Miskovic there. She had to defend against the Osoto going back, and she defended by pushing forward strongly. That gave her the chance for the Makikomi in the other direction. Right, we've got the second of the bronze medal contests coming up now. It's Mariana Silva's teammate, Caitlin Quadros, to face Margot Pinot of France. It's Quadros in the white judogi, Pinot in France, and taking control of this one is Everardo Garcia of Mexico.
Well, I think the refereeing here has been great. 1 or 2 scores that we've kind of half questioned, but only because of the angle of approach, I think, with certain ones, you know, but I think overall it's been very, very consistent, and I think that's one of the most important things. So Quadros in white, Pinot in blue.
It's a 2nd Grand Slam medal for Mariana Silva, by the way, who just stepped off the mat, happy to pick up a 2nd one.
This is another thing we were talking about, wasn't it? About Quadros here is out as the other Brazilian. They don't mind putting 2 in the same category. They just put them head to bed, or back to back, or head to head, whatever you want. It's to get them both out there against each other, fighting for the place. Don't forget that there's a possibility in 2 of the categories to send 2 people in the category for the World Championships. In the Olympic Games, there's only 1 representative per category if you qualify.
France are going to look for Clarisse Agbegnino again, I think, in this cycle. I don't think there's any doubt about her. Well, 2 things. One, remaining at 63. That's her weight. She won't be moving from there. And she's the right age. So it's not a problem for her at 63.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is to do with age, time spent, and also getting your mind wrapped around the 4-year cycle. And I think that's an important one there. You've got to be looking long term. It's just like in business, really. You look long term, look at the big picture.
They had the timing absolutely right for Clarisse Agbegnino. She wasn't in the frame for London and for London at 63 because it was Gevry Zeman, and at 70 you had Lucy Decos. Eman ended up with a bronze and Decos ended up with a gold. And then for Rio, Decos had gone at 70. Eman went up, and unfortunately she got tumbled by Sally Conway, didn't she?
She did, indeed.
In Rio. But Clarisse Agbegnino came in at 63 and she medalled at 63. That was quite a podium.
But you know, sometimes there is chopping and changing. I mean, it happened to me at in Moscow, and certainly I could have competed in either of two categories, and it was just one of those things. You take the chance a little bit sometimes.
No score yet, a little over a minute and a half to go. Quadros and Pinot both negating any advantage by trapping the sleeves of their opponent. So
yeah, well, just talking to the referees just before coming on air here now, we're talking about difference between positive and negative gripping there. Quadros just gets a penalty for negative, and there is a difference when somebody grabs you. That's a good Cianagi. That's going to score a Yuko. So a Yuko goes up there to Quadros. Nice drop Cianagi, takes hold of the arm, and then right the way underneath there for the Cianagi. Just gets the hips underneath Pinot. French are doing a good job as well. They've got a very young team, and it's a big team here. But the young team fighting very, very well. Well ahead in the medals. 2 gold medals yesterday, and just looking now, they've got 2 bronzes as well. This will be the 3rd if they can get this, but she's got her work cut out here against Quadros. Cianagi again, Sodi this time. She went actually underneath with the sleeve. Starting to climb on top of this now, Quadros. Could be a double bronze medal here for Brazil. Gets a second penalty just for dropping. 20 seconds left, just needs to hold off. That Yuko there will still be ahead even if she gets another penalty, but 4th one will not be good. Is she going to attack? Almost steps out there, very, very close. Second bronze medal for Brazil in the under 63 kilograms.
Cheered on by Charlie Chibana and Natalia Brigida. They were both in action yesterday. Natalia Brigida in the under 48 kilo category and Charlie Chibana in the under 66 kilo category. He had that unfortunate Ansakumake when he went on his head yesterday, attempting to throw one of the fighters, but only needed to see the replay once and then held up his hand and said, yeah.
Yeah, you said that. You said that it was one of those situations where he knew it was borderline. And we've seen people like Ono, haven't we? He's definitely borderline. Some of those Uchimatas that he does. Just manages to turn the head just very, very slightly.
Kisses for her supporters.
That was towards us, wasn't it?
I could see that coming in my direction.
Absolutely.
Look at Margot Pinot there. But it was Caitlin Quadros who came up with that left-sided Cianagi, and that was enough. Ippon Cianagi, wasn't it? Just got the one arm underneath.
Cianagi, yeah. She just controlled that arm, pulled it in. Absolutely pulls it in there, look, and then just drops the hips and drives off the legs there to get the score. Takes her onto her side. Warrants a Yuko score. As she comes up here, just drives off the leg. Starts in, goes
It's that
out.
drive that Neil is talking about that really did it, because she dropped to her knees without really having a strong. I know he's being a little bit harsh here, but just dropped to her knees a little bit early before she had her opponent. But the pull and then that drive at the end was so strong, Pinot couldn't get off it. We come now to the final of the under 63 kilo category. 2 of the hardest working fighters in the under 63 kilo category. Catherine Unterwertsacher of Austria faces Jules Fransen of the Netherlands. It will be Unterwertsacher in white and Fransen in blue. Pinot and Ozdaba went down to Unterwertsacher. Silva and Quadros were the losers to Fransen. Fransen had a field day with the Brazilians today.
Yeah, you could say that. And I just, very surprised just looking at their head-to-heads there. And 4 contests and Franson has come off the winner on every single occasion.
I would never have put that.
No, I wouldn't either. I was just really surprised by that. 4-0. Untitled Archer for me, one of the strongest in the category.
Oh dear. You know what that is, don't you?
Well, exactly. So it would be a massive psychological win, wouldn't it, if Untitled Archer could get one up here on Franson.
She's got her number. Let's see how both fighters deal with it. You can expect Franson to have a good deal of confidence because she's done it 4 times, as Neil just said, and Untitled Archer can be a little bit aggressive, trying to show her mettle and stand up strong and look as though it's not on my mind. I've never even thought about it.
Yeah, I bet she did.
How many times did he say? Nah, can't be.
Well, she'll be fighting hard to put this right.
Wango Chow, sorry, is the referee in the middle for this one, Neil.
I was going to say that you're saying that it is a psychological advantage, and it's not necessarily about the medals won at world or top level competitions. It's just between these two. Which is obviously very awkward for her. Untitled Archer will want to put that right.
Intense as ever. Marco Spitko in the chair.
He's one of the most aggressive coaches, isn't he?
We're talking about that head-to-head and the way that it affects people and whether you are the Olympic champion or whatever, but you've got somebody that you don't like fighting, and now I can say it because she's made her intentions clear about what it is that she's going to do. So Kayla Harrison said to me, don't ever tell anybody this, but she was talking about absolutely loathing fighting Yo Abigail of Hungary.
Isn't that funny?
Smash everybody else, and it didn't matter who they were. She'd turn them over, and Chimio and Aguiar.
But
and
she didn't like
Solkil
fighting her.
Didn't like Yo Abigail.
Look at this, Franson here, just tying her off, and she's going to turn her over into the hold down here. This is the final, don't forget. Olsai Komi called there. Untitled Archer is underneath, and Franson of the Netherlands is holding here, and she's just got the leg out. That's going to be a score, is it? No. She hasn't got the leg out, still counting up here, so we're up to a Wazari.
That's it, mate.
It's going to be the whole thing here, and it's 5-0 to Franson. It was, like you were just saying there, as if she knew she was going to do that. She really did.
If you're 4-0 up, you can walk in with a degree of confidence. It's not, this is going to be easy. It's never easy, never easy. But you've got this confidence. You know your opponent. You've been there before. You've felt them. There's something there. Yeah. It obviously works the opposite way for Kathy, who thinks, oh no, not her again. I'm going to do it this way or that way or that way. And now she may be overthinking things.
I think she probably is doing exactly that, overthinking things. And
there's also the end. I like to see how the fighters approach things at the end. The handshake, the hug, the clap on the back, or whether there's anything like that. And there, it was just, because you've got the feeling from Untitled Archer, this isn't over yet. I'm not going to get Pally or Chemi at the end of this. I'm not happy.
I think they're going to meet a lot over the next few months and the next couple of years, for sure. But it was a nice bit of groundwork, wasn't it, here? She just tied up the arm and she used the other hand there just to keep the leg at bay. All started from this particular movement here. Untitled Archer knew she was in trouble. One leg trapped, so she had to take that Kashiwazaki grip on the trouser leg there just to pull it instead of pushing it, and she pulled it, created that space, took the leg out, and it was all over.
Yeah, there's enough at the end there between the two as well. That is real respect, because it's not just, a hand clasp there. There was a little bit, okay, yeah, done that one. It's almost apologetic on behalf of Jules Francis. Sorry, Lo, I had to do it.
Sorry, I had to beat you again.
Right. Let's take a look then at the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 73 kilo category. Fegan Guluzada of Azerbaijan faces Musa Magushkov of Russia. It's Guluzada in the white judogi, Magushkov in blue. Referee in the middle for this one is Everardo Garcia of Mexico. Here's nil.
Well, this man has his work cut out. I'm sure he realizes that. Gulizada of Azerbaijan fighting Mogushkov of Russia. Mogushkov, world ranked 11 at the moment. Didn't have the best of semi-finals, that's for sure. But he was beaten by a really on-form Tommy Macias of Sweden, who is in the final there, and I quite fancy him certainly to do well against Orozhov, the world number one. But we'll see. Saying he's the world number one, he is world ranked number one, but of course the world number one, Ono, he is the Olympic champion.
Yeah, it's odd that. I mean, he's been out so often, Orozhov. He's collected just so many points that as far as the ranking, he's
now
put him
then,
on his backside.
that might just be it. Is that a Wazari? Did he score that?
No, he just put him on his backside.
Wow, I thought he did Ashiwaza there. I thought it was going to be all over.
He did, but he just sat him on his backside. The hands went down and he scooted across the tatami rather than catching any of the scoring part of the body. The other thing is, as he spun away from him, there was no control.
No. Well, good start that.
Mogushkov,
Mogushkov, just a little bit different now. Thinking.
Here's a look at it.
Well, that was really close, wasn't it? It was just on the backside.
Yeah.
It's got to be at the top half, the side of the top half, to warrant the score.
I get the feeling that Gulizada was just having a little dig there, just have a tap and see what happens, and a little bit more than he bargained for.
I bet he wishes he could do it again.
Exactly.
5 minutes for the men. To wake himself up. He does make mistakes, doesn't he, Mogushkov? He has absolute brilliance.
Yeah,
he does. He has brilliance. And then he'll make a mistake. I think it's one of the reasons he hasn't won a major global title. Of course, the main thing about winning any kind of major tournament is that you've got to win every single match. And it's all right beating some good people some of the time. You've got to beat all the good people all the way through the competition to win the major tournaments.
Well, Mogushkov had his scare.
Yeah, I think a little bit more tentative now.
I mentioned earlier on that Mogushkov has got a nice Koichi. He's a Koichi Gaki, really. Oh, got the turnover,
That's going to be a score.
Yeah.
He gets the ippon for that. So he gets the ippon because it was a bridge, and I think that Mogushkov there...
Yeah, he got his head there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I like to see it in slow motion, I have to say, because I want to see how the head was. We couldn't see the head from that particular direction.
You see, Gulizada is reacting to the position that he finds himself in. Mogushkov creates that. He's the one who's initiating the throw. He puts Gulizada in a position, and Gulizada reacts to that threat by going on his head. It's a natural reaction.
It is a natural reaction.
To escape,
and the thing is, sometimes you can't help going onto your head, but sometimes you can. Let's have a look at it and just try and dissect it a little bit.
It's the danger. It's the danger that's inherent in that attempt to get off a technique that the referees are trying to clamp down on.
Ah, there we go.
See, and you see the shape. Don't look at the head, look at the shape of the body. That is an unnatural shape. The only way that the body can bend and shape like that is if you're attempting to use your head to get off. So yes, you'll see his head go into the mat and you'll say, oh, Mogushkov drove my head into the mat. No, at this point, here, as he goes to bend and arch his back, it's at that point that he's trying to use the head to try to turn off it.
Well, of course, the other thing from this, of course, is that there's going to be talk about whether to make that honsokamaki for the other person rather than an ippon, of course, because an ippon is when the back hits the ground.
Right, coming up next, the final. Sorry, it's a bronze medal contest. I'm looking at the final already, Orejov and Macias, but we've got the second of the bronze medal contest. Sam van der Westende of the Netherlands faces Victor Sportov of the United Arab Emirates. It'll be van der Westende in the white judogi, Sportov in blue. And there wasn't long enough for me to get the referee's name in.
He's doing great.
Velamati of Finland. I am not going to nail that, but he's new on the circuit. He's the rookie referee here, but only in terms of the number of times that he's refereed at a Grand Slam, and this is his first. I don't want to jinx him, but really, he can't hear anyway, but he's been doing fantastic. He really has. All credit to him, and they've given him a medal match. Happy for him. Neil.
And to West End knows that it's one each actually. These fought each other twice, and it's one contest each. So Van der West End knows that he has the ability to beat Sportov. But Sportov, very, very clever with his approach to the match. He plays the rules and he plays it very, very well. In fact, Toma and himself, they play the rules very close to the mark. Mr. Marius Visa there just looking on, enjoying the judo. And just spoke to him actually just prior to coming on and said that like just a little bit more time just to watch the judo.
Ooh, another one sat down on his backside. There'll be no score for that.
No, certainly no scores just for the backside. It has to be the top half of the upper part of the body. Side would get a Yuko. And Sportov lost in the semi-final to Orejov, and he was well beaten by him. Orejov on good form, and we've said he's one of the most consistent. He's always in the finals or roundabouts, either third place or the finals for the major events, and that's what puts him as the world ranked number one. Although he was well taken out in the Olympic Games by the great Ono of Japan. Remember everybody looking forward to that one, but it didn't quite. I think it didn't quite go his way. Ono made sure of that.
Yeah, Ono lived up to all the expectations of the Japanese. They were quietly hopeful,
praying.
Yeah, to be honest. Well, given the last few Olympics,
yeah, they absolutely had big hopes on him.
They were hoping that he would come up with something, and he didn't disappoint. And then, almost bonus-like, 2 days later,
Matthew Baker.
You had Baker Matthew getting in there in the act. They liked the idea of winning that weight category as well, under 90 kilos. The Georgians had it for a couple of Olympic Games, so it was nice to sneak that one back in.
These are left to left, these two, and that's where it's going to come unstuck for one of them. I think it's going to go left to left, and somebody's going to take a chance. And what happens is, if it's left to left or right to right, the leg that's forward is put forward by the attacker, and it's not always the best thing to hook yourself around it. And that's why Van der West End doing a good job there going on to the inside.
The head referee, who is Jan Schneiders, is nowhere to be seen around the control table.
No, he's just come to have a little look, I think.
I really like that.
Fact that it might be from the Netherlands.
I really like that.
Yeah. It's nice.
He knows the fight order. He's got his team up there, and he just steps away from the control table, which means that there cannot be any influence there around there. No. He's not on the scene. I just think that's a nice signal to give, and he lets his team get on with it.
Well, this is a very close match. Sportov just behind on that Shido up there, that penalty. And we're well over halfway now, 2 minutes still to go. Sportov working hard. I'm wondering where this United Arab Emirate team are training at the moment. We know that they train a lot out at the different training camps, and I'm wondering how much training they've actually done prior to, since the Olympic Games, not prior to, since the Olympic Games, because there's a lot here. They just look like a little bit flat, and their game's just a little bit off.
Nasser Al-Tamimi, who is the president of the United Arab Emirates Judo Federation and the general treasurer of the International Judo Federation, told me that they come here on a regular basis. I don't know how regular that is, but they come here. He's just gone over the arm. He didn't have the arm.
No,
it was,
didn't quite
it was
have
out.
it under control. Good newaza though from Svortov. Well, I actually came here. They invited me over. I came over. I was training with Svortov,
Nice
Tomer,
one. Nice,
and
yeah.
everybody. Yes, so
Good group.
they brought me over for 2 weeks to train them, help train them anyway.
Dutch coach just being asked to tone it down a bit.
It's the first time we've seen that actually. So a lot of the coaches started to just behave themselves, and we have seen them removed from the chair for shouting at their player during the fight. They're not allowed to do that. So Van der West End gets a Shido 37 seconds from the end.
Big call, that,
Yeah,
isn't
it is
You know,
a
they've
massive call because it's all evens now, and it could go into a golden score. Well, that's got to be a Shido for Svortov. Svortov just dropped there with no hands, no intention of throwing. He gets away with it, and I don't know how. He was under pressure at the edge.
Ooh.
But exactly the same for Van der West End there, because
he's going to
deserves one
dodge this
too.
one. He's going to dodge that one as well. So they've both dodged a bullet. 14 seconds left to go. I think Neil's got a point. They both got away with stuff there.
Well, getting behind their man, and it's going to go into golden score. So a golden score situation means that any score on the board now from a penalty or throw, hold down, arm lock or strangle will win this match. One Shido will do it. One Shido against the other person could win the bronze medal for the other. Not that they're after that, of course. They're after the biggest throw. Well, it is quite even between these two, isn't it? One contest each. They fought each other. This is the third time they fought each other. But Ashiwaza again from Svortov. And he's going again for that Sangaku turn, Svortov. Oh, the Tomanagi's going to do it. Yuko Svortov gets it. Yoko Tomanagi in the end. Nice round of applause there, and a medal for the United Arab Emirates.
Al-Tamimi was immediately on his feet, punching the air, and then he realised, he's sitting next to His Excellency, and he calmed down and he sat back down.
Maybe I should control myself.
Actually, he's sitting next to the president of the Judo Union of Asia, who's from Kuwait. And he's straight down on the floor to congratulate him. Look, big hug, and it's a genuine relationship, that he's got with his teammates, his players. And I see him in hotels sitting down in the lobby talking to them, and he's animated. This is really, so much more than just,
a contract.
Yeah,
absolutely. It is a relationship. I think
Yeah.
that's a great way of explaining it. And I think that everybody benefits from this relationship. And it's good to see that these fighters have had the chance to compete at Olympic level and Olympic Games, competing for Olympic medals, and that was a brilliant Yoko Tominagi under pressure in golden score, almost a minute into golden score, and Svortov gets
Svortov is still up there shaking hands with all the crowd. He's all the Emirates big cheeses are up there, and he's done the whole thing, and now the Emirate fans, the fan block, they're all on their feet waving to him. That's a nice touch. And then Victor Florescu's down there, giving him a high five. Right, we come to the final of the under 73 kilo category. I know that Neil's on the edge of his seat with this one. Rustam Orozhov of Azerbaijan faces Tommy Masias of Sweden. It's Orozhov in the white judogi, Masias in blue.
You've got to fancy Orozhov, of course you have. They've met 3 times before, Orozhov the winner on each of the occasions. But I think that this will be a closer match, because I think that Masias of Sweden is going to be fighting as a different person than the other 3 times that they've fought. He has a higher level. He's going upwards and onwards. He really is, and he's one for the future. So it'll be interesting to see how closely he plays this. This man here, though, has a big thrower. He has good counter-attacks as well. Orozhov is in white. Masias of Sweden is in blue. Big arm around the back there, and he won't like that, Masias. He'll feel the danger of that straight away. Well, he's countered him. Look at that. He just tips him, doesn't he? And gets the Yuko for that, Orozhov.
He's a throwback to Eastern Bloc fighters who were so adept at that. It was right at the tail end of the Soviet Union. So early 90s, you had that group of fighters who all knew how to execute that kind of turnover.
Yeah, and it's danger all the time. Masias just stayed in there just that little bit too long, and he really has to make sure that he goes in. If it doesn't work, comes out immediately, because like you said, it is a throwback from it, and it's definitely so dangerous when you're in there. You stay a millisecond too long and you get punished.
I'm thinking in particular about a Russian called Islam Matsiev. He really knew how to work that, and at first, he's caught him.
He's caught him for a Wazari as well. So that was a great technique there
terrific.
from Masias.
Look at the hook in.
Yeah, Yoko Satemi, Yoko Gaki, whatever you want to call it, but he just had a second stab at that.
Right,
now he's ahead.
The hook of the leg, for me, is I've got no doubt about that. The hook of the leg, that's Kosoto Gaki. There's no sweep in there. He just hooks in, and from then on, it's this pull down. The Satemi aspect of it is once he's hooked in, he doesn't mind where he's going. He's not getting off that leg, so the rest of his body, he can throw himself. That's the Satemi part. So, for me, that label, it's Yoko Satemi Waza. He takes him off to the side. He throws himself. I mean, we'd like to put, the Kosoto Gaki part in there, but that whole principle is a Yoko Satemi Waza.
It is, and how beautifully executed was that? It was definitely not in the Gokyo. It was a variation of...
I think it would be easy to talk in terms of the initial part of the technique as Kosoto Gaki. That's not in the debate. You can see that, it's clear. He hooks in with Kosoto Gaki. It's the finish and the overall shape and concept of that
yeah,
technique.
but it's the adaptation,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's the adaptation of technique, and that's what this is all about. Because
He
if you
gets it right,
stop
doesn't he?
a particular base technique, it always will go off at a different direction.
Yeah.
And that was brilliantly executed. And now you can see Orozhov out there, and he's thinking, I want to get on with this here. I want to pull this back. All of a sudden, I'm losing this. Here we go, Orozhov Macias.
I think that, yeah, the safest label for that one is a Yoko Sutemiwaza. Nice hook in.
It's going to happen again. Something's going to happen. And he's almost countered Orozhov this time.
This is really good. What you don't have is Macias running or settling on the Wazari. He was straight into it. So Orozhov here is the one who's unsettled.
He is unsettled, and the thing is, Macias as well, looking dangerous on the counter. The counter to the counter, you could say. Yeah, not quite so keen to go in now, is he, Orozhov? It just suddenly changed it. He'll keep coming forwards, though.
Alexei Budalin, he was another one who had those.
Yeah, brilliant. He had a great change of direction as well, Budalin. What a gentleman he was as well. Is.
Yeah, I was going to say remains. I like seeing him.
Now, what's going to happen?
Clever, isn't he? Didn't look under threat there. Rode it nicely. Saw it come in, rode it.
Change of direction, knew it. So correction all the time from Macias. Well, I said it was different Macias coming out to fight Orozhov, and he can feel it. You can see there that just the look on his face here, he's thinking, well, this isn't quite the way it went the first 3 times that we fought.
Is he 3-0 up?
It's 3-0 up. 3-0 up so far, but this is a different Macias out there. Not that he can't make mistakes, but definitely a different one.
Yeah, I was going to try to equate it to Unterwertsacker and Jules Franzen. Is completely different. This has got a completely different look.
It has. It's got a different look and a different feel because Macias here believes that he can win this.
Yeah, Unterwertsacker was hoping that she'd be able to turn the tables. That is the difference. Macias wasn't hoping anything. He really believes that he can do
he really
this.
believes it, and he feels differently today. He must do anyway. Must do. A Shido, third Shido up to Orozhov. Look at that.
Yeah, he's struggling.
Yeah, he really is struggling.
Every yellow card is a point at which you've made a mistake. He puts him on his backside, so that's not happening. There's a little bit, there's a degree of desperation in there,
Yeah, there is, and look at this coming up to the last minute. It could possibly cost him dearly as well because he's coming forward, he's taking chances, and Macias, like I say, a good counter-attacker himself, so he better watch out here, Orozhov. Not taking any prisoners.
Yeah, that all goes to add to the frustration that he's feeling, that little thump that he took there.
It's got to be the best contest so far, this one, hasn't it? It has.
I told you Neil was going to be on the end of his seat. Look at that scoreboard. All the Swedes watching at home, they're screaming at their television sets.
Are they? I've got a lot of my friends as well. A lot of Swedish friends out there that we've fought over the years. We've trained together, and they're all watching this with great interest. Sumigaeshi.
Nice turn as well.
Yeah,
there was a danger that he could have got.
Wasn't just
down.
A drop, was it?
No,
it wasn't just a drop. He absolutely went for it. 22 seconds left on the clock here. That arm out a little bit defensively. I don't blame him. One of the Shidos has been taken off from Orozhov there. I don't know why. So one penalty goes up to Macias, but he's a Wazari up, don't forget. Just needed to ride that. 8 seconds left.
And that's a mistake from Orozhov. He looks at the clock, he puts his hands out, but he was the one who initiated that Sutemiwaza effort, so can't complain. And now is going to be... And Buko stops it very, very quickly. he got that penalty in very quick. Doesn't matter now. Yeah,
that was an excellent win, wasn't it? Excellent win there, and Orozhov very angry with himself, but more with himself, I think, because you've got to say that Macias there, that was an excellent performance, wasn't it?
Well,
different guy out there.
They had a raffle here a couple of years ago where you could win a car, a really smart SUV, and if they'd been having one here, Neil would have had the winning ticket. Unfortunately, there was no raffle.
No.
Because he did guess correctly.
I should have done the lottery, shouldn't I,
that
today?
Macias was going to win this. Well called.
First and not last, I can tell you now that this young man here is going to go and win some major medals over this next 3 years. Look out for his name, because he's going to be there and he's going to be contesting. That was brilliant performance, and he didn't just beat anybody in that final there. He beat the world
number one,
world ranked number one.
World ranked
we
number
won't
one,
say he's the world number one, but he is the world ranked number one. Certainly, probably the world number two.
Yeah,
and he beat him well.
Olympic silver medalist here again today. He must be tired of seeing that colour.
So Sweden have a gold medal, and that is a terrific gold medal against world-class opposition. There it was Kosoto.
See, this is his.
Yoko Satemi.
And that's Pacek.
Yeah.
Isn't it? From the 100 kilos.
Yeah.
The first part is Macias. The final part, that sit down, pull. There, look. I mean, that's his go-to technique, Pacek. Right, we've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 63 kilo category coming up next. And the bronze medals go to Caitlin Quadros of Brazil, and standing next to her, her teammate Mariana Silva. The medals are being presented by the president of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Marius Wieser. Silver medal goes to Catherine Unterwertsacher of Austria. The gold medal goes to Jules Fransen, a happy and smiling Jules Fransen of the Netherlands. There you go.
Big smiles, and quite rightly so too. And we talked, didn't we, about how she came out. Certain athletes come out, they have an air of confidence, they know what they're going to do, they know it's going to happen, and that's how she came out to that final there. Unterwertsacher, I think, was fighting psychologically against somebody that's beaten her on 4 different occasions, and now it's 5. Brilliant performance from Fransen, and a medal, gold medal there for the Netherlands.
And now the national anthem of the Netherlands.
With a family picture. 2 bronze medals, Mariana Silva of Brazil, Catalina Quadros of Brazil. 2 bronze medals for them, and the silver to And Dwazacha of Austria, Catherine, has to be content with the silver, and Jules Fransen of Netherlands wins the well-deserved gold medal.
Right, coming up next will be all the action from the under 70 kilo category medal matches, the first of which will be the bronze medal contest between Giovanna Sochimaro of Germany. She faces Katie Jemima Yates-Brown of Great Britain. It will be Sochimaro of Germany in white, Yates-Brown of Great Britain in blue. 21 and 18. 21 Yates-Brown and 18 Sochimaro, a couple of youngsters there.
Yeah, it is. It's a young team, some of the German team I've never seen before, I have to say, and here they are in a Grand Slam, but willing to take chances. French have put the team out as well, young team, and Great Britain as well, at last putting their youngsters out here at the major tournaments, and early on as well.
Well, I know we're both British, but and we don't often get to commentate on the British fighters, but on this occasion, you know, Sochimaro is going to have something pretty special to get past Yates-Brown.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that Yates-Brown is a special kind of judo, and she can't underestimate it, not for a second.
Interesting.
And if she thinks she's going to arm lock her, think again. Sori Surakamigoshi this time, Yates-Brown. Yates-Brown in blue, by the way. Well, you were saying that she was gymnast originally, and
a bit rugby player.
but her suppleness, my
Yeah.
goodness me, just almost bending double at certain times to avoid certain situations on the ground. Looking for the pickup as well, looking for the Uranagi.
Wants to keep Sochimaro down in Newaza. Do well to get out of here. Doesn't fancy it on the ground, I don't think.
Yates-Brown again. Oh, got to be careful of pulling that front leg in. Always have to be careful of that. You can't just keep pulling in. They make an adjustment. Here's a Sangaku here from Sochimaro.
Easily slipped.
And now easily slipped and absolutely reversed. Yates-Brown in for the Sangaku. Can she get the turn?
I'll tell you who Sochimaro reminds me of. It's almost going there.
Yeah.
In stature, it's Gershak Sabina, the Hungarian.
Yeah, same kind of style.
Yeah. She's got that kind of look about her.
And now Yates-Brown has the strangle. It must be underneath. The referee letting it go on for a little while there.
They're pretty similar, aren't they? They've got the same stature there. Gershak was a terrific junior.
Almost gets counted again there, didn't she, Yates-Brown? Yeah. Just overreaches just a little bit. She's got to be careful of that that head grip that she's taking.
I think I mentioned earlier on that the term fearless. She's fearless, but at the same time, because she has no fear, she puts herself
in danger.
In danger. She doesn't sense that danger. We saw Theresa Stoll up in the stands a moment ago, I think.
Sochimaro is very one-sided here, and looking for the Osoto, trying to use her extra height as an advantage. Again looking for the Uranagi, looking for the counter. Has to be careful of the counter to the counter though. Coming up to the last minute. Just manages to turn onto a front there. Some incredible escapes here by Yates-Brown.
This is a odd situation. Yesterday we had Theresa Stoll fighting for the bronze medal. Today there's another competition taking place in Malaga, and her sister is about to get underway and fight for third place. Amelie Stoll, in the same weight category. That's a bit of information for you.
Difference in age of them?
I think they're twins. They're twins. I could check it up. I digress.
So trying the Sodi Tsurukumigoshi here. Yeah, she did almost push her out there, didn't she? There's
the
Sodi that's going to score
time,
now. Yeah. She's going to get a Yuko or a Wazari. Yuko scored.
Get the top half secured. Oh, Wazari, yeah. Finish. She's got the top half now, just trying to work the leg free. Sochimaro hanging on there.
So second stab at the Sodi Tsurukumigoshi, and
good position.
Just kept going, didn't she?
The feet position was really good about that. And then she could bend at the knees and just get underneath. It was really good position from.
Doesn't need to take any chances now, does she? Yates-Brown of Great Britain here just needs to block out. 14 seconds to go. There's not a penalty on the board, so it doesn't need to take any chances. But as you said earlier, she has no other way other than forward.
It's worked out for her here. We just tighten up now on the ground. That'll be it.
Well-deserved bronze medal for Yates-Brown of Great Britain. First ever Grand Slam medal for sure, and a good performance from her. Good Sodi Tsurukumigoshi to score the Wazari.
The question for Yates-Brown and people who are watching and want to know exactly what she's going to do and how far she's going to go, that sort of thing, is it's the speed with which she's going to acquire more knowledge, more judo knowledge, and can she tighten up on her defence? The only thing that I think might let her down is that she can, get thrown and scored against, and then she's up against it. Here, however,
well, I think if you've got the style of coming forwards all the time, then you've got to learn sometimes that you've got to take one step back. The 21-year-old then gets the second bronze medal for Great Britain. So they're having a good run. Sodi Tsurukumigoshi, she was successful with it in the semi-final, and here she is with the repechage final, should I say. And here she is in the bronze medal match here. Taking her over for Wazari. Hips right the way across, just keeps pushing, never stops, and she never lets go of those sleeves either. Keeps hold of them all the time.
Good point about the hips, getting the hips across. The feet were a little bit stuttery. I know I'm splitting hairs here. She never really planted herself. It was a little bit steppy, but the hips were across. She was low enough, and when the sleeves were trapped, where you going? Over,
yeah. On my back.
Coming up next, the second of the bronze medal contests. Barbara Timo of Brazil faces Anna Bernholm of Sweden. Got another Swede who's looking for a medal. Well, Timo in the white judogi, Bernholm in blue. Here's Neil.
I think Anna Bernholm just gone up, and she looks quite good in this weight category. I like her in this weight category. She fought for third place in Uzbekistan. Didn't quite make it. She just missed out. She came fifth. But here she is fighting for third, and she's wearing blue for Sweden. So a second chance of a medal here on the second day of competition for Sweden. Barbara Timo, world ranked 57. They got fairly their world rankings are fairly close together. Fairly even. 57 for Timo, 52 for Bernholm, but she's only just started in the under 70 kilograms category. Looking good though, and let's see if she can get this medal.
Again, I come to, body type, and if you start looking at all of the successful fighters and you begin to try to align success and body type and everything, then Anna Bernholm's got to be right up there at 70 kilos.
Yeah, she looks good in the weight category, and that's the thing. She looks the right stamp. You've got to be careful of those drop Cianagis from Timo there, but
no more weight cutting.
No, that's it. And it does make a difference. It really does. Great support there from her Brazilian team, Timo. Yeah, no, it does. It makes a massive difference. If you can just train, eat, drink, sleep, and be merry, it makes a difference. They've been quite strict on the edge, the referees, and because of that, every one of these fighters turns to try and be back inside the yellow area. Of course, if they step 2 feet outside of the yellow area, if it's purposely done, then they get Shido. If they push somebody out purposely, we saw it earlier, they get Shido. So got to stay within that yellow area, and because the referees have been strict with it, it makes a difference. Oh, she went right the way over for a Wazari there. Bernholm couldn't stop that. Harai Makakomi from Timo takes her over. Look up at the clock now. Brazilians like it.
Yeah.
There it is. Keeps hold of that hand right the way through. A winding throw. The leg starts, the support leg starts on the outside for the Harai Makakomi. And it did again there as well. Almost scored there a second time on Bernholm. So trying to tie up the bottom half there to start the turnover into a hold down. 2 parts to the judo, the standing and the groundwork. And that's the difference between judo, of course, and jiu-jitsu, which concentrates mostly on the newaza, on the groundwork. And we have the massive advantage of the throwing skills as well as the groundwork as well. Bernholm gets a penalty as well. It's not going her way at all in this match, only halfway through the match as well. Finding it difficult to settle. Being out-gripped, actually. Timo taking the sleeves, dominating, attacking first. So now backtracking, 1 minute 25, starting to backtrack Timo. She knows that she's a Wazari up. And Bernholm putting her under pressure.
She won't have to face her teammate any longer in the under 63 kilo category. She's going to stay at 63 whilst Bernholm is the one to have made the move. Mia Hermansen.
Yeah, well, it gives them a little bit of a chance, doesn't it, to build depth in the team. There's the great Jean-Luc Riget there, up there with the president, Mr. Visa. And Jean-Luc Riget was 1975 as the world champion, light heavyweight champion. Terrific judo man. Yeah. Now then. Timo takes her for another Yuko. Left Cianagi this time.
She's tired now, Bernholm, because that was not the fastest execution of a left-sided
that you've ever seen.
Yeah, and she couldn't get off it.
Well, I think she is getting tired, and also just she can't get to grips, literally can't get to grips with her at all.
Got to go now. Well,
that's going to be a Shido.
Timo decides to take it. For me, that's a bad move. It's a second Cheeto with 28 seconds left. That's not the cleverest that I've ever seen.
Well, she's on the run, we know that, and Burholm, her job is to come forwards. Sumageshi, good attempt.
It's a pity she couldn't come up with Wazari there. That would have put the pressure on.
Would it have put the pressure on? Yeah.
Well, she's got a Yuko in the bag as well, so 2 scores. But if there hadn't been the Yuko, and Burholm comes up with Wazari, Timo is losing that.
And it happens, doesn't it? We see that, especially in that last minute. It's going to go again here, Burholm. There's going to be a third penalty now to go up to Timo. Has to give it. She just went outside the area. So one more drop and Hon Sokomaki disqualification. 7 seconds to put her under pressure.
She stays up nice and tall and strong at the end, but Contini is impressed, but
I wonder why.
Natalia Brigida was unimpressed.
Barbara Timo gets another medal for Brazil. Second, 5th place for Burholm. She's up there roundabout. She's always winning matches, so that's a good thing. World ranking will go up. This is a Grand Slam 5th place, so she will get points for that.
And it's well worth pointing that out as well. Finishing off 5th here brings her as many points as she would get if she'd, battled it out at some Continental Open or something.
Won a European Open, same thing.
And it all helps for seeding at the next tournament. She was seeded number 4 in this competition, so this is all adding to it. She looks as though she was about to go to sleep there in the slow motion.
Well, it takes a little while sometimes to adapt to a new weight category. That was Ara Makikomi that scored for Timo. Left Cianagi scored the second one. There's the Makikomi from a different angle. She outgripped her. Seen it from plenty of angles now just to see that was a good score, and there's the Cianagi change of direction there. Walked straight onto that, didn't she?
She couldn't get the left leg far around. She was balancing on that. You really want to get that out there to stutter and then get a hand down. It didn't happen. The movement was good from Timo there. The movement was the right, had the timing right. Burnham couldn't get off it. Right, we come to the final of the under 70 kilo category. Maria Portela of Brazil faces Marie-Yves Gahi of France. It's Portela in the white judogi, Gahi in blue. The Brazilians appear to have the timing absolutely right and the selection right, the level of competition right to come to and choose Abu Dhabi and pick up.
They've chosen it completely right. I tell you now that they have 6 bronze medals. They've got a silver already. They have a chance of a gold medal here, even if it's another silver. It's just the consistency of the youngsters coming through. Everybody that's in this competition, they're going to go back with a hatful of medals, a load of points, a lot of money as well, has to be said. And it's going to be you were absolutely right. It is the perfect choice of competition. This lady here is going to have something to say about whether it's a gold medal, because Marie-Yves Gahi of France, for me, is the up-and-coming person in the category. She's strong, she's very, very awkward, she's one-sided, and she's a big thrower.
I'm going to go with Neil completely on that. In fact, I'm going to go a little bit further and saying this is going to be the fighter to beat in this cycle.
I think so too. I've seen her a couple of times now, and I think she's going to go from strength to strength. She looks so confident and so physically strong as well. She'll want that big right arm over the top there, and Portella's not going to let her get it very easy. So that's going to be, Judo next time. If she does that one more time, I don't know if she'll get away with it, but you can't just attack without the hands.
There's something about the way that Gahi moves and her footwork. It's almost like a boxer.
Yeah,
you know?
well, it's changing direction all the time, being in the right place at the right time. And she's changing her body position all the time. Sometimes she's orthodox, which in boxing terms would be orthodox is somebody who's opposite.
That's right, yeah.
And so in judo terms, of course, it's a right-handed fighter is standing with the right foot forward. In boxing, unorthodox is standing the opposite way around. And so it is really being able to change your body position. That's my main point, and that's what she does extremely well.
She'll be 20 next month. Our media manager just informed me.
Well, there she is. She's out there now, and she's going to look for the Osoda Gary here. Portella, of course, we haven't said anything about Portella here, who's extremely experienced. She really is an experienced fighter here, and she's on the back foot.
Bent over, got the left arm stuck out, just fending off Gahi.
She's going to get a Shido this time.
You see, she was trying to drag that arm over and hope that Gahi would pick up the penalty. And Frank Dirch, the referee, had a look in the beginning to see where that arm was, because it was Gahi that went for the grab. She got the right arm on the top, and then Portella's head went down, and she just tried to push it over a little bit, sell him the dummy, but he wasn't taking it. Stepped off that Ojigari comfortably, and now trying to work on the ground. She won't be able to work for too long there, because they were already off the area before the Nearwaza exchange started, so the referee called Mate.
I think this is just a matter of time here before Gahi catches her, and she's just coming forward all the time. Yeah, you're right. The face there just says it all. It's just very, very cool, calm and collected. Knows exactly what she wants. Just a matter of time for Gahi.
Single Shido against Portella. That is yet to, really loom large. But every second that ticks away will be catching Portella's eye.
Now something's going to happen here. Can't run all the time, Portella. She is running away.
Gahi is about to catch up with her.
Well, it's the Muhammad Ali shuffle, isn't it? Changes direction this time. Almost got the Uranagi. Portella, that's what Portella normally does as well. She's good with the counter there. She does the Uranagi as well. So into the last minute, just a Shido in it at the moment. Now watch the big right hand. Wants to swing it over. Portella will want to drop as soon as that big arm comes over.
See, that was drop and tuck in. Zero attack. It was drop and tuck in, wasn't it?
It was.
And that's why there's no score. No control from Portella, and a hand out to stop herself. So that gives every indication that there was no control of the technique. So no score. Yeah.
Gahi,
almost.
My goodness. Right the way underneath there, and 18 seconds to go. And she's going, where do you think you're going? Could be a third gold medal here for France.
Desperation grab at the end there.
Well, this is where she's good here. She's got to be careful, Gahi, because Portella does that well. 3 seconds left on the clock. And I've got to say that Portella did well, because Gahi, for me, is the up-and-coming talent. Portella's been on the back foot all the way through here defending. Little bit injured there, Gahi. Wins the gold medal. Third gold medal for France. Came in here with a world ranking of 17, Gahi, and big world ranking points will put that up. And I fully agree that she is going to be one of the main names all the way through this qualification period up to Tokyo. So it is a second silver medal for Brazil. Still haven't got their gold yet. Sianagi very close. A Barani just to avoid going on to her back there from Portela.
Right, we come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 73 kilo category. The bronze medal is collected by Viktor Svortov of the United Arab Emirates and Musa Magushkov of Russia.
Silver medal for Azerbaijan, Rustam Orozhov.
Silver medalist is Rustam Orozhov of Azerbaijan, still hanging his head in disappointment. But the gold medal goes to Tommy Masias of Sweden.
Yeah, what can you say? I'm so happy for him, but he fully deserved it. This was a pretty good under 73 kilo lineup that he had to go through, and he did this so well, didn't he, against the world ranked number one, Orozhov of Azerbaijan.
I'm only laughing because you're so loath to call him the world number one.
Well, the
now
thing
there's
is,
a subtle difference, isn't there?
Difference.
Yeah, who's number one
and
in the world
and
ranking list?
I
yeah.
think if we didn't have such a clear absolute world number one in Ono, then I would, say it. But I think the fact that we have got somebody who can beat him pretty well.
And now the national anthem of Sweden.
Musa Magushkov of Russia, Viktor Svortov of the United Arab Emirates get the bronze medals here. Rustam Orozhov, world ranked number one of Azerbaijan, gets the silver medal, and Tommy Masias of Sweden. First time a Grand Slam winner, and he does the business. He really does have the day of his life to win this tournament.
Well, the crowd being treated to some good competition. I haven't seen that many bang 'em up, smash 'em up Ipans, but I think they've enjoyed seeing the UAE representatives at the very least.
Absolutely.
And we've got another one coming up shortly. But before that, Ivan Vorobev of Russia faces Serdan Mivaljevic of Montenegro. It's Vorobev in the white judogi, and Novaljevic in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Sławomir Konachki of Poland. There's Ivan Vorobev.
Yeah, this should be quite a good fight. They're quite used to each other, these two. 4 times they fought each other. 3-1 for Vorobev of Russia. Quite often the under 81 kilograms, under 73s, the most contested of the categories, unless of course you go to Olympic Games. We have the same amount of fighters, of course, that qualify for the Olympic Games, but certainly in Grand Slams, Grand Prix and other events, because there's more middleweights than there are any other weights, and so we tend to have high numbers. Quite often they can do an extra round to go through to win a major tournament. The Vorobev in white here, backing Mazurek up towards the edge. That was close. Ashiwaza there. Mazurek just a little bit too complacent there. Just has to be careful. That inside grip there from Vorobev. Vorobev going to get a Shido here, not doing anything. We're saying about the depth of fighters in the under 81 kilograms for Russia, and probably one of 5 or 6 that could come out to these major events. Vorobev.
Well, they've got the man in the driving seat at the moment, Hassan Kalmuzayev, the current Olympic champion at under 81 kilos. His brother, who fights in the weight above, is an identical twin at 90 kilos. Hussein, Hassan
almost
Hussein,
qualified as well. He
Yeah,
had
he
a
nearly got there,
massive
yeah.
one, didn't he, against the guy that Masu Baker, of course, back
He went on to
Baker
win it.
Masu, who went on to win it. Yeah, and had a great match with him in qualification.
I had the unusual job of being able to bring VIP guests down onto the floor. That was a nice effort there from Novaljevic over on the left-hand side. To bring VIP guests down onto the floor to meet with the president of the International Judo Federation and had its pass. And I brought Hassan's twin down onto the floor.
When he'd won the
when
Olympic title.
when he won the Olympic title, his brother was there to get him coming down from the podium. There's a raised podium on which they fight. When he came down, his brother was standing there, as was almost with the Ashiwaza. He's going to give a
done that about
Yuko.
3 or 4 times now. He's got the Yuko this time.
As was Tachimoto Haruka's sister, Megumi. Tachimoto Megumi was waiting for her. And the tears from Hassan as his brother greeted him, and there he goes, just down onto his side. Tears from Tachimoto Haruka as a sister brought her down, and I also brought Kayla Harrison's mum down to greet her. There were no tears there. Said, oh my God, what did you bring my mum down here for? You can't win them all, mate.
No.
It's hilarious.
Well, this one is a funny match, isn't it? Because Vorobev isn't in this match.
No. Yuko down, picked up 2 penalties.
Vorobev here is using the Ashiwaza to great effect.
He's got the tempo right, hasn't he?
He's just commanding it, really. Sasai on that front leg, and it seems to be working nicely. Why change it?
That was a little little loose there, wasn't it?
Looks tired, Vorobev, to me. He looks, I think some of the earlier contests took a lot out of him, and he's certainly struggling, and he's going to catch it again.
Well, I think just out of shot, the referee called Mate already. He wanted to give Mavaljevic a penalty for the drop. Vorobev heard it, Mavaljevic didn't, and he attempted the Ashiwas, and Vorobev was in mid-air saying, hey.
Yeah.
But I think he is tired here. Nice effort. You see, I've seen him with that left Uchimata throw, top quality people. When he gets it right, they do go, but he's breathing heavily now.
I think they both are. Look at this.
Who's got the most left?
Well, coming up to the last minute. 2 Shidos up there to Vorobev. He's got a Yuko against him. Maravich is just 1 Shido on the board. Just backed him up now, and he hasn't got a lot, has he, left. And body language, well, it says it all, doesn't it? The body language here from both fighters. 53 seconds left. That could be an hour and 53 seconds, couldn't it? It certainly feels like it when you're out there sometimes.
He's got to dig deep, hasn't he? Vorobev, if he wants to pull this off. 43 seconds. He tries the Uchimata and then looks to go around the back there. A little shape of Tani Otoshi. He couldn't get his body moving. Get far enough around. Half a minute left. Single Yuko on the board from Mavaljevic. He's been living on that for the last 4 minutes.
He has. And like you said, just taking command, just doing what he has to do. Almost got caught there. My goodness, that was a head plant. He just decided that he had to headbutt the mat there. I don't think that was
in the
too
plan.
sweet.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't in the plan. 15 seconds left then. Just got to hold on. Mavaljevic could go a couple of penalties. He doesn't need to, though. He just needs to block out now for the next 3 seconds.
Well, he hung in there, and there have been times when Mavaljevic has been in similar positions and not been able to hang on. But on this occasion, he could be grateful that his fitness levels were as good as his opponents, because Vorobev was gassed, wasn't he?
He was, absolutely, yeah. He just ahead of him and just managed to block him out. You could kind of tell that he was struggling all the way. I'm talking about Vorobev. Valovic gets the bronze for Montenegro. Beautiful. Sasai just threatened with it several times, actually. Used the Ashiwaza to great effect several times. Vorobev onto his side for the Yuko. Two more matches still to go on the second day of competition in the under 81 kilograms, and we got the second bronze medal fight just about to happen.
And that bronze medal match is between Dider Hamza of Kazakhstan. He faces Frank de Witt of the Netherlands. It's Hamza in the white judogi, de Witt in blue. A 19 and a 20-year-old, two more youngsters. Neil's made the point already. Look at that, 19 is the third dan. When did that happen?
Yeah, good question. It doesn't normally either for some of the countries have their own grading systems, of course, but it kind of all evens out in the end, I suppose.
How many 19-year-old third dance, do you know?
Well, it never used to happen. Of course, that don't start me off with the grading system. Whatever you do, don't start me off with that. I mean, that just definitely needs a new revamp.
I think I'm going to have a word with
well, on the other
president.
side of that, it doesn't mean that you have a 70-year-old ninth dan either, necessarily,
No.
if they're not worth it.
Yeah. It's got to be some value in there.
Age and time put in doesn't cut it. Sorry. Anyway,
Right.
end of that one.
Back to the action. Hamza in the white judogi, De Witt in blue. Here's Neil, and he won't be mentioning anything about time in grade.
No. Yoko Tomai straight away there from De Witt. He is all action. He does make mistakes. They didn't quite take him onto his side there, so Kamsa just manages to avoid the score. Well, he has the sleeve at the moment, Kamsa. That is going to be a Shido for De Witt, just dropping on his back with no hands. You have to take them with you. Big arm over the back there from Kamsa. A lot of the Eastern countries. Wow, look at that. Grab the legs there. Now then, not so sure about that one. Kamsa there just grabbed the legs in order to get some. He might just be disqualified here.
What was he thinking?
This might be all over.
Yeah.
I can't believe he did that. He grabbed the legs and then went for a throw. But the amazing thing is, just the viewers that are not aware of it, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to touch below the belt line. He might just be disqualified here. It's either that.
Yeah. Sansokamake. Frank De Witt has a big celebration.
Well, quite rightly so too. Kamsa doesn't even. What amazes me is at this level here, Kamsa doesn't even know what he did. You watch this. This is absolutely incredible. I'm talking about this level. We're not talking about athletes that we should be teaching the rules.
Frank De Witt says, I don't know what's going on.
He didn't either. He wanted to carry on with it. I'm surprised that De Witt wasn't all over it as well.
We'll get a look at both of the fighters and then we'll see the piece of action. There it is.
Well, we've seen it from underneath here. Yeah. Have a look how he takes the legs. He's got the legs and now he goes into throwing.
No, he's on another planet.
Watch him, look. He'll have a dig in here.
He's on another planet.
Even better, he questioned it. So De Witt wins the bronze medal. Well, here we go. We've got the final just about to happen here. We've got Toma of United Arab Emirates against Panelba. Well, they've met each other 5 times. This is the 6th one up, and this is going to be a good final. I think that, well, Sergei Toma, for me, not on the best of form. He's world ranked 6th at the moment. Victor Panelba is world ranked 15. Toma has won 3 out of the 5. Panelba 2, but Panelba, for me, is on the better form. Saying that, anything can happen, of course, at this stage. Here is Victor Panelba. He's going to be wearing blue. Toma, very, very clever fighter, and I'm just taking my time explaining as to, I mean, he has great technique, great counters, and he plays the game tremendously close to the chest. And Panelba will have to be careful of that, but Panelba for me is on better throwing form at the moment. Of course, the home crowd well behind. It could be a gold medal for the United Arab Emirates. It could be. Panelba will have something to say about that. And a cartwheel from Toma.
Showboating, isn't he?
Well, I think so. I think it was. He'll be on his back next doing a spin. Oguruma. You're going to see the cartwheel. Well, points out of 10. 4.8.
Yeah.
4.8 for that one. Next one will have pointed toes.
It was generous. Generous.
Left to left. Just had the feeling today that Toma wasn't quite on top of it, and of course he's still in the final, major final as well. Such is the ability and level, of course, of these judoka. Even when you're not on the best of form, something just not quite there, just a little bit of timing that's just a little bit off, but it makes such a difference. It makes a difference with the big techniques, the techniques that score. And Penalba, well, his techniques were spot on. So we'll see. It's going to be left to left. Toma is just making sure that he grips up when he wants. I think it was always going to be a gripping fight, this, wasn't it? Positive grips against negative, both negative at the moment. Can they turn it so that it's positive? The one that does get the grip that he wants will explode in.
Well, this does remind me of an earlier fight, the Untitled Chapter Franzen fight, only in as much as both fighters know each other. You know, they know the strengths, their own. They know the strengths of their opponents, and they're just being a little bit cagey.
Oh, they're definitely cagey here. They can feel the danger out there. Two hands on, and they've got the danger bit. And 2 penalties each here. If one more penalty goes up against either one, especially look at the clock there. We're just coming up to halfway.
Vostrikov, the referee, doesn't want to get involved in a fight like this, and he's tried to indicate by penalising them quickly. Hey, you know, let's see the judo.
Let's get on with it.
You know, but at the moment it's like shadow boxing. You know.
Well, it is.
Shape here,
he's going to have to give a third penalty in a minute, and at the moment, Penalba's just falling behind. Penalba is the one that's got to take the initiative here.
There is the added pressure for Toma of fighting at home on the back of the Olympic medal favourite. You know, all of those sorts of things, and you know, it never played into. It never came into it before. But after an Olympic medal, when you've been feted and everything as a national hero and a champion, all of a sudden you come to UAE, hey, you know, this is home now.
Well, it is, and look at the support he's got. They're all behind him.
I think he's begun to realise just how much his efforts have been recognised in this country.
Well, they were telling me that the judo is on the up and up, and of course jiu-jitsu's always been big here, but judo, look at the crowd, listen to the atmosphere here.
Oh, Wazari on the board. You see that one again.
Oh yeah.
Applause from the audience. Really see that, but hey, man in the middle's given it.
Well, are we going to see it now?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. So it was just a counter with the Tewaza there.
You see, the Tewaza's at the top. It's the slippy foot.
Yeah, well, the foot came into play as well, didn't it? Penalba was the one that initiated
and his
throw.
Foot he wants to throw, and his foot just keeps sliding.
I told you, that mat there is a dangerous old mat.
His foot just kept on going, and, you know, the top half, hey, I'll take control of that then, Toma says. Rosari, the lead. A little over half a minute, so go on, Neil.
No, I was going to say, just the last minute now, he's got to come forward. Penalba. Cross grip. Oh, Uchigari. He had to attack immediately. Now Toma. Anything to waste some time.
Well, you saw how close it was over the first 4 minutes. You know, 1 minute isn't going to be enough for Victor Penalba to overturn Toma now. That's it. I know that's, you know, put the dampeners on the last half minute, but hey, Toma's too clever to let this one get away from him now.
Well, he is a clever fighter, and I said that it's one of his biggest advantages. He knows how to play the game from a tactical point of view. He's tight, he's good defensively, and he knows how to play the rules.
Can't believe how some of the really, you know, big VIPs are up on their feet and they're cheering and punching the air.
They're really
and,
behind him, aren't
you know,
they? 4 seconds away then. United Arab Emirates about to get a gold medal here.
Look at them, they're all celebrating.
They're already celebrating here.
You know? This is where their investment is. They've invested in a group of people who they've brought in. There's no escaping that. There's no escaping that. But now we've gone past the sitting back and, oh, you know, it was just a little bit money. No, this is real value to them. The flag means something. There's pride in it.
Well, I think you were right when you said that it's a relationship, and it's a relationship that's worked for both parties, and it's done good things for the United Arab Emirates. It's pushed them forwards as a judo nation, as a developing judo nation, and these champions here, Toma, for example, on not the best day, has beaten Penalba again. So he's 4-2 up now in their exchanges, but he feels muglocked, Tom. Penalba there coming off saying, well, I need to have a look at that, and he's going to have a look at it on the big screen. I think he needs to see if it was a score. He's not happy about it at all.
Initially I didn't think so, but you only need to see the replay once and then you know what's gone on. He looks for a little foot sweep. This foot just keeps going. Toma's nowhere to be caught as far as the attempted foot sweep is concerned, but the control of the hands, that's what does it for me on the way down. Shinohara is explaining that to him. See, that's not the best angle. We're going to see another one here. Look, he wants to come with the left, but his hands are already being turned. The top half does it for me, no doubt about it.
Well, Tewaza, of course, we say that the majority of techniques, everything starts, in fact, with the hands. And this one, it starts with the hands, it finishes with the hands. His Tewaza, control of the upper part of the body here, and he directs Penalba onto his back.
The two words Neil has used there, direction, the one word. It's a misdirected attempt at the foot sweep. It comes at the wrong time. It comes as Toma is using his hands to bring him down, and he's trying to attempt that foot sweep when his balance is going in the wrong direction. Right, medal presentation. Here we go.
I'm exhausted after that.
It's a medal presentation, the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 70 kilo category. Jean-Luc Rougeau is making the presentations, and the bronze medals go to Barbara Timo of Brazil and to Katie Jemima Yates-Brown of Great Britain. The silver goes to Maria Portela of Brazil, but the gold medal goes to Marie-Yves Gailly of France. And Jean-Luc Rougeau is the right man for that presentation.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why he's there. And he's just watched the third French gold medal. He awards the third one. This lady here, Gailly, Marie-Yves Gailly, is going to be one for the next 3.5 years, building up to the next Olympic Games, and they'll pin, I think, a lot of hope on her. You often look to see where your next medals are going to come from, then something pops up, a little jewel in the crown. This lady here has everything. She's got the stature, she's got the determination, and she has the judo, which is developing all the time. It's not there yet, but it's going to be there.
And now the national anthem of France.
Confirmation of the medals then. Jemima Yates-Brown of Great Britain. Barbara Timo of Brazil get the bronze medals. The silver medal goes to Maria Portela of Brazil. Still no gold medal for them, I'm afraid, but Maria-Yves Gahy of France wins that gold medal. Before we have our last medal presentation, we'll just have a little look at some of the highlights.
Right, we come now to the last of the medal presentations. This time it's for the men in the under 81 kilo category. Medals are just being presented, and there's Frank de Wit of the Netherlands collecting his bronze medal. Serdan Novaljevic of Montenegro collect his bronze medal, and it's the Brazilian Victor Penalba collecting silver, having lost out to Sergio Tomo in the final, who steps forward to collect well-received gold medal.
Yeah, it was a great tactical final, and I mean that because he wasn't on the best of form. I don't think every match he was getting stronger and stronger, but certainly from a tactical point of view, did everything right. France, of course, still ahead. They were ahead this morning, but this time they go ahead with 3 gold medals. Kazakhstan, Russia, Netherlands, and now the United Arab Emirates and Spain and Sweden, of course, now have got medals. Yeah, with Tommy, and that's a terrific performance.
And now the national anthem of the United Arab Emirates.
So a well-deserved gold medal for the United Arab Emirates. Veljovic Montenegro gets a well-deserved medal. Frank de Wit of Netherlands gets the other bronze medal there. Victor Panelba, Brazil, gets the silver, and Thomas gets the gold there. After day 2 here in Abu Dhabi, we've seen many of the young fighters showing their skills in their build-up to Tokyo. 4 years' time. France still lead with the 3rd gold medal, and we still have 1 day left here in Abu Dhabi and more judo action. Join Sheldon and I at the same time tomorrow. From both of us here in Abu Dhabi, it's goodbye for now.